Today I'm going to show you something that's very important. So this is for shooting an English longbow. We're not talking about recurves or horse bows or center shot bows whatsoever. The thing that we're going to be going over is basically drawing to the ear. Now look, drawing to the ear does not mean sticking your finger in your ear or touching your ear. It simply means full draw. You see, if I take my arm and go completely to the back, it will not go back farther, so I will be drawn as much as I can. My hand goes right to my ear. So that's what drawing to your ear is. It just means full draw. Okay? Now, having said that, I want to talk about the power train. Now, the power train is the hand, the bow, the string, the hand, the wrist, and the forearm. That is the power train. That is the parts that make up the draw. Okay? The arrow is not part of the power train. It's the hand, the bow, the string, the hand, the fingers, the hand, the wrist, and the forearm. Those are the parts that draw the bow. Now let me demonstrate what happens with a power train. If I take this chain, it's all the links of the chain are like the parts of the power train. There's the hand, the bow, the string, the hand, the fingers, the wrist, the forearm. Now you notice how this chain is relaxed. But when it's drawn tight, it goes perfectly straight. It can only go straight because it's relaxed. That's what draws the links together. This is your elbow, this is your hand, and that's what you're supposed to look like. Now let me demonstrate that a little bit better. And now I will show you why an English longbowman does not anchor on the face. It's the biggest mistake in the world, is to anchor on the face. Touching the corner of your mouth or your lower tooth, actually touching it, is a mistake. Drawing an equal distance to it is not, but touching it is, and I'll show you why. Once again, you can see that this string is relaxed. It can only go straight. Tension can only be 180 degrees towards the target if it's straight. Okay, so it has to be relaxed. Now here's the problem with anchors. So the guy wants to hit the target. Now if I put the tip, this is the tip of the arrow, right on the target, if my arm is over here, you can see that even though the tip is on, the angle of the pressure is going that way. So what happens is, now a person will say that this is where the arrow is. This is the arrow knock, okay? So the guy lines up and he wants to anchor at the corner of his mouth, so he simply does that. Can you see how straight that is? It looks very straight to my eye, but can you see that the string is actually going off on an angle to my elbow? You see? I'm tricked. I think it looks straight because it looks straight to my eye, but the actual pressure is going off on an angle, and if I pull that way, this little boy will go that way and I will miss. The only way that we can really direct the pressure to the target is when the elbow goes behind the head. Now you see, it's straight from my elbow. I must not do this with my fingers. I must not do that with my face. The eye has to float over the pressure and it will line it up perfectly. Don't quite touch. Do not touch your face. You're going to distort the line of pressure. Have the bow completely drawn out. Float your eye over the target. Do not touch your face and let go. And if you've got it all the way back and you're holding it on, you'll hit the target. So that's why we do not anchor on our face. It distorts the line of force. It has to be 180 degrees towards the target. Simply float that eye, line it up, let her go. Okay, so that's what I want you to know. I want you to realize that. Now, go have some fun, and I'll talk to you later.